Okay, so my phone died. We're going to try this again. Let's just wait for Temi to join.
Hello, welcome back.
Where are you? I can't even see you on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Maybe
can
it's
hear your
loading.
voice, but I can't see you.
Okay, maybe it's loading. Because I can see you. I
Yeah.
can't see. Maybe let me put on my camera and put it on back. Put it
Okay.
back. Oh, yeah. Does it work now?
No,
Oh,
let me see. Um,
so Instagram has not changed. Do you think it needs to be a problem like okay, as those that says you can see us both. Thank you for that feedback.
okay.
So yeah, that's that might be from your end.
Give me 1 second. Let me try. Let me switch the camera and switch it back.
Maybe put me off. Like I think it.
Yeah. Oh, remove her. Let's try this again.
So I'm back. Can you see me?
I can't.
You might just have to walk by faith and not by sight.
Right? I think that's what we're going to have to do. I think, I can't, I don't know. And it's probably something I have to do on my end, but I'm not too sure what to do. Maybe there's a way to put it side by side. Or the tech people here who know what to do. Mhm.
Since they can see me, it's obviously like from your end. So
Yeah.
for them,
Yeah.
for them I think they don't have much to do. Yeah. Ooh, I just explored one filter. I didn't know you can use filter while you're on the live. Nice, nice. Love
Okay,
it.
people are saying they can see us both, but I can't see you. So I'm going to walk by. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you clearly.
Okay, let's walk by. Faith then. Keep going.
Yes, so I think I think it went off when I was saying something about people not feeling stuck on or guilty, not guilty, like not feeling stuck on, oh, I didn't hear God, so I'm not going to move. So I was trying to say that before the podcast ever, like I did some things that I just felt like it was good to do in the time being, you
Yeah.
know. And as time went on, I decided on now and those things actually made me know my strengths. I feel like if I wasn't aware of who I was or the kind of things I could pull off, obeying that call to do that podcast would have been hard. If I
Mm,
hadn't done anything new, if I hadn't started something before, I was going to be like, For example, now I tell people that I'm a master at starting. If you want to start anything,
just call you.
I mean, I'm a master at starting, and it's not common. Sometimes you just think that because you can do something seamlessly, they are common. It's common.
Yeah.
Your strength. It's my strength. I've been doing it like it's common. So for me, like for example, learning makeup artistry and doing um business where I eventually started selling beauty products to students. I organized workshops, and nothing in my soul, my spirit, body was against that fact of whatever I was doing. So it wasn't something that I said, oh, I was gonna start because God told me something. So what I wanted to just say is I just get started, but don't be stuck in your ways. And when God says move to another thing, or when God says, you know, because people sometimes ask me, oh, like, how didn't you have the fear of or you're doing something else, and they're like, this girl's always doing something. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I really don't care what they think.
Yeah.
As long as I look inward, as long as I look inward and I ask myself, am I looking for the shortcuts or the shortcut out of this, or I am, you know. And just as the beginning of makeup was not something that was like a supernatural leading, the way I stopped it also wasn't like anything. Oh,
Sure.
stop it.
Yeah.
I moved to Lagos. I saw that logistics does not work for me in Lagos. I saw that I also determined after doing the kind of business that I have to be there for it to get done, I decided that I'm not going to do anything that involves me being physically there to get done. So that was just my resolution, of which the what you want to be able to say is that you did whatever you did well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think up to last year, so someone was asking me, do I do makeup? I'm like, hello. Since how many years? Just make sure you leave a mark. But I didn't know I was doing that, to be honest. I was just giving it my all, you, And when there's a next step and next level, I don't try and fight it. I move to the next thing. So yeah.
Oh, that's
So
that's very good.
different passion, but at the end of the day, I saw the purpose. The passion can be different, but I realized at the end of the day, I'm connecting people to solutions, and that's really what is the core of who I am. Yeah.
And that's part of the things that we're going to be like really getting into in the 40 days. So like exploring, and we're using the 40 days purpose driven life by recording that talks about, your shape. So like your service, your heart, those things, just to get you to a point where you're knowing what really is at your core that you enjoy doing. If it's somebody that really loves the media, they love acting, and eventually, they find God, or say they grew up, and they just have their faith with them, and how that now adds a layer of like how you can use media for God's purpose. It's still like it's something that you enjoy, and it's not that media is bad. Some people think like, oh, only certain things are usable by God, and the other things are like, yeah, no, He doesn't want you to do this. You know what I mean? Like it's just a sort of that is very like archaic, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It doesn't have
I
kingdom
really,
roots. That mindset
yeah,
doesn't have kingdom. The
yeah,
kingdom is everything that literally could exist. God looking for the part that glorifies Him and edifies the people in it.
yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so I can't see you that I can't judge your, non-verbal cues here.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so um, just to sort of like new people who are just joining, that we're talking about purposeful living, and then I'm running a 40 days of purpose challenge course that just helps us to delve into more of who we are. Build our self awareness about ourselves, grow ourselves, and also connect with our hearts. And if you're faith based, we're also having moments where we really talk about how that translates into our everyday doing with faith as well. So yeah, and we're just having a conversation really about how we've journeyed so far on intentional living, the things that we've done, the stirrings in our hearts, how we've responded to them, what we have garnered about our strength. I really like that you've talked about strengths, Tenny. Did you always know that you're a doer, you're like a self-starter? Like, how did you get to that point? And you're like, yeah, this is actually one of the things that I'm really good at, and then owning it too, because it's one thing to know that you're good at it. There's another thing to just kind of like say it in
Yeah.
passing, not really like say it. Like now when you posted this post and you posted Queen of Personal Boundary, and I was like, wow, I love that. That's amazing. Just like, being able to say like this is what I do, I'm good at it, and then really owning it. How did you get there?
Amazing, amazing. Thanks for that question. And sometimes I feel like I had a cheat code. So sometimes whenever I explain why I quickly caught on with how active I was in doing, I feel like this is a cheat code. I don't know if it's helping people or if it makes some people feel bad, you know. But I'll just say what it was. I would say it's nurture. right? Nurture my parents. Every time I say it, I said my parents, I feel like my parents need to do like a parenting um ministry or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because they never shut me down and they also gave me space to do things. Like they're just like, just do. What do you want to do? You want to do this? Oh, amazing. I'm like, can't you just say something is not even good for once? Like, you know,
Mm.
you know,
So
and for them is
they gave you the possibility mindset.
I'm telling you, you know, and I was just like, you know, and coming into the world, you know, I think this is where I actually really relate to DDK a lot. When she said, when she came out to the world and they were saying that women cannot do something, she said, ah, I'm quite surprised because my father did not tell me this. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
my dad
Yeah.
never, like, it was not even a topic of, oh, there was, as a woman, you can do this. There wasn't even need because already, he was already telling us of things that we could do. If we say we want to do something, it's like, oh, fantastic. How do you want to go about it? So I think my cheat code was my parents. Um, they encouraged me. They saw my personality and allowed me to live it out. And growing up, some of their corrections and things that they complained about and just let me know. For example, they complain about my brashness, of how I tell
Mm.
people the truth without like filter and all that. And as I grow older, I realized that they were doing me such good. Like I feel like they were like yes, I'm gonna nurture the part of you that is
That is
a goal,
great. Yeah.
go for what you're doing. But we also want because you have a personality that makes you seen, like public facing, we're also gonna like curb some things. Like you can't respond to that person that way. You know. So you have to be like emotionally intelligent. So those are things that we're not saying without the words, exact words. But so like I said, I had a cheat code where they were balancing the right things. And I remember in primary school, what did I do? I joined Igbo cultural dance. People are saying I can dance now. They don't know that I've been dancing since. And there was Yoruba cultural dance. I was like, this Yoruba cultural dance is too easy. I don't like the way they are just moving to the left and right. No, give me the one that are breaking our backs. That's what I want. You know, and I joined Igbo cultural dance. My father said, eh. My parents said, oh, is that what you want to do? Okay. Then I joined, at the same time, I joined choir.
Mm.
At the same time, I played an instrument, I played the violin. At the same time, my parents were not like, you're doing too much. No, no. And in their age, I think they just thought, okay, she has all this energy. What she's doing for? Like, for
Yeah.
goodness sake, let's not figure out what she
Yeah.
likes and what she doesn't like. You
Mm.
know, and I think the reason why I'm having a nudging to leave this to go somewhere that I don't usually go. Right. So my parents never saw me as doing too much. I was never in an environment where they felt like I was doing too much. Immediately I said I wanted to do makeup. They're like, "Oh, that's nice. But we also want you to do A level. So can you balance that out?" I said, "No problem." But I dated somebody in a relationship that said I'm always doing things. That's a problem for him. You
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
that like for him it showed lack of focus. You know, and and
Really, really
like
wish I could see your face.
I was like lack of focus as how? Like, you know, in my own head, I was like, this doesn't feel wrong to me. Like, how many things am I really doing if we count it? At that point in time, maybe it was three things. And they were related. They
Yeah.
were, I was training children, I was not children, I was training undergraduates on
Mhm.
personal branding, professional branding.
Yeah.
I think I still had my podcast. Then, like, I just did things that were related. So you
Yeah.
said I'm doing too much. I've never had it in my life that I was doing too much. I'd never had it in my life. So for me, I just, I just said, oh, okay. Like, what should I be doing? Sitting down, looking at your face. Like, for me, it was just, okay, what should I be doing? Because, like, I don't understand. Like I still have time to do these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, it just didn't settle in my mind that I should drop one thing for another thing. I'm like, they're related, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And that's where when you try different things or you are quick, when you fail quickly or win quickly, you are
Yeah.
able to get
Yeah.
your
Move
DNA.
further.
Like
Yeah.
what exactly is at my core? What am I looking for? And that's when I also learned about myself that I get tired of things easily. So I need to
Mm.
find how to make something interesting, or I need to know when to bring people on board. For example, there's a business that I want to start, and me and my friend I'm talking about it. And I said, you see, this business, I cannot even do it alone. It's not possible. I need a partner. Because
Mm-hmm.
I've seen my trend with some kind of things that are like physically exerting. I'm like, I'm not going to do this business alone. If not, I will just give up
Yeah.
and leave it because
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
like it's not gonna work. So you know your habits and your it just compliments for your
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses. When I say compliments for your weaknesses, that's putting yourself into accountability where someone's like, okay, I know I'm not great at this thing. Eh? You're going to help me. You're going to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do it for me. But I focused on my strengths because that's all I knew. Like that's why I
Mm-hmm.
say I had a cheat code. That's all I
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
quickly when things were not working for me. Ibuka Shika gave something, said a story that liberated me forever. She said she studied accounting. No, no, no. She said she went to like three different departments in uni, saying that okay, she was first in, I think, law. Anyway, she switched departments in uni because she was like, oh, she didn't like this. This is what she liked. And then, she finished school and then she went for NYC in an accounting firm, a consulting or accounting firm. I realized that she also did not like the accounting in that firm, but she was doing NYC. She was like, well, we're going to finish NYC, but I am not staying one extra day in this
Yeah.
place
Yeah.
because I don't like it. It doesn't sit well with it. I'm not great at it. But other people were saying she was great at it. But you know your capacity, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know your capacity. You know when you're good at something. She said she did not waste time. Immediately she was like, oh, she dropped her NYC. They pleaded with her, asked her to give her a raise. She was
Mm.
like, no. And she went to go and start a furniture business, which eventually brought her to the limelight where she was poached for being the chairman of First Bank. If she didn't
Yeah.
stop, she didn't say, I care what people say. If she didn't say, I don't feel fulfilled doing this thing
Doing this
early in the month,
thing.
she would have been stuck, you know, just there saying, okay, I'm building a career in accounting. And I doubt that she would have gotten to where she got to career wise as fast as she did if she stayed that course of saying, I still want to be an accountant by all means to make my dad happy, you
Yeah.
know. I know that. So I hope I answered your question. So,
Yeah, you did. You did. You did by saying like nurture was really one of the things that helped you to be aware of your strength and to own it. Just your parents constantly, being like, yeah, you're good at this, do it, keep going. Just that encouragement. So even a supportive community is one of
yeah,
the things you're saying about. Yeah. And then eventually you're also like looking towards like the life of your dreams and then designing it in such a way that okay, if this is what I know I'm great at, this is what I know I need help with. So you're doing like an audit of like this is me, I'm good at this. If I need to enter into this different thing, then I know that I need this other thing. And that also comes from like self-discovery and constant assessment of like what you're good at. So yeah. As we wrap up
yeah,
this conversation, is there one more question on your heart that you really, really want to ask, especially about
yeah,
Liberty Day?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We are
Very,
last question. Yes.
yeah, yeah, amazing, amazing. Um, I think that people really don't know where to start. So when we talk about purposeful living, where do you think people should start? Maybe you can give us like the first three steps that like, and that should also give insight to what they'll be expecting, what people will be expecting in the 40-day,
Yeah.
purposeful
Mm,
living, challenge. like where should we start? Many times people are like drowned in.
Mhm.
I've heard so many people. People have talked about purpose. Oh my God, my head is full. I don't know where to start from. Or like, what would you say is the starting point um, of actually saying that from now on, I don't want to live on autopilot. I want to live by design.
Yeah.
So what would you say? What would you say that is?
I think maybe I would sum it up into one thing. You need to live a life of reflection.
Mm,
And that would
mm,
be asking yourself a lot of questions, and hard questions, easy questions, really asking yourself a lot of questions. That would be a good summary. And the way that you can build a life of reflection is also really enjoying solitude, like quiet solitude. There's so many things bombarding us. So being able to take time apart and say, maybe today I just want to play some slow music and I just want to converse with myself. What are some of my happiest memories? What are some things I look at? I'm just like, I really, really enjoyed being in that space. As I say, what was it about that? Question why you enjoyed being in that space. And then you can start to like narrow down to the things that you really really enjoy, that you can create again and do again and duplicate over and over. And that's how you build a system. Like I said, we don't um rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems.
yeah.
So I really think reflection is a hack for purposeful living. Reflection even is saying, God, what have you made me to be? I'm really sitting with that question over and over and over again, like asking
Mm,
what am I gifted in, so, or why do I even desire to feel fulfilled in my life? What's that, what
mm,
exactly am I looking to gain from that?
yeah.
Why do I feel like I have to pour out everything within me? What, at the end of the day, I really want to go to heaven, and God says, well done, my faithful servant, you did all.
Yeah.
I don't want to look back and feel like the thing I didn't want to do, if I had known that at the end this is what it will come down to, I would have done it. I don't want to have that kind of like feeling at the
Yeah.
end of the God was looking at me like, that's so much in you. And at the end of the day, you were just living like a mice on earth versus like really stepping into that your power that I already have deposited within you. So asking
Yeah.
yourself those questions, the tough ones, the hard ones, why did I react that way? What about that situation made me so upset? Did I feel like I
Mm,
was incompetent in that situation? So really, the key pillar would really be reflection, and that's what we're doing a lot. We're asking. I'm going to be asking you to ask yourself different questions every week. But we'll also come and discuss it and be like, okay, what did that mean for you, and how can we move forward from here, especially on the journey of creating your life of design. So yeah, the summary would really be the art of reflection, and imbibing that in your everyday life would be a great place to start. So really saying, why do I want purposeful living? So let me just narrow it down for you. Why would I want purposeful living now? You know, and then starting to break that down, and then sort of working your way backwards. So if I want it because of this, how can I start to live my life now that will bring me to this point by the end of the day? Yeah.
that response, I don't know a more fantastic response. Like I do not know. Like that was so great. Like that is so amazing. Like I said, this is the usefulness, the amazing thing about interviewing and just conversing with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, you see how that has worked in your life. For example,
Yes. Mhm.
you see that thing you call reflection and solitude. I think I have like a star in it. And I think he also answers the question you asked the first time. He also feeds into nurture, where
Yeah.
my mom was often alone. Like she'll play with people and go back. We're like, Mom, what are you doing? And she'll tell you
Mhm.
sometimes you need to hear your own voice. And I'm just like, ah, whatever. You remember when you want to go and play and your parents will say, you can't just sit down in your house.
I know.
You know,
Yes. Yes.
Mommy,
Yes.
I'm bored. She'll say, bored? There's so many things to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said, you can write, you can speak, you can watch something educative, you
Mhm.
can, like, how are you bored? You know, and yeah, it made a lot of difference in my life. Many instructions, many things I've gotten. has been from reflection and solitude. I don't know. I think we're a generation that is beginning to be afraid being alone, and being like by yourself. Because if you find that every small moment you end up finding yourself scrolling on Instagram and scrolling somewhere, and you're like, oh, life is not so good. I see your
It's best
brother.
for these
Life is
people,
not
yeah.
so good. Life is not so good. But I can just scroll. Life is not so good. I don't have to ask myself questions.
Yeah.
I can just go online, see other people's lives. That makes me even go further into asking myself what I'm really doing.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, journal. Say exactly how today has made you feel. What makes you feel lighter about it? What decisions did you make that, sometimes you had something planned and you allowed someone take your time for so long and you write it in your journal and say,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm not in control of my time, and I feel like
Yeah.
I just was not assertive enough to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
And really, it has
So
helped me so much because I also don't take calls early in the morning. You call me in the morning, please don't
I
disturb
think
me. Why?
that I wish you could see me thumbs up like you're my sister in that.
I'm just waking up. I just have time to think, and then I will not be in a conversation for 2 hours. At the end of the day, that conversation would have taken my energy. I can't do anything
Yeah,
productive again. So I really, and it was in the moment of asking myself questions that I got to point. Why do I feel like I'm not productive? I've been on calls the entire morning, so now I'm like, okay.
yeah,
Even if it's
that's a
ringing out in
boundary.
time, can you text me? Fantastic, text me. If you're not dying,
Yeah,
if it's really an emergency, call me. But if it's not, just leave me alone.
yeah,
So there's
yeah.
some people that
That's
I'm
a
like, yeah, I
boundary.
calls early because I'm like, we're going to talk for long. It's going to, require a lot, and nah, not the right time. So yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
for sure. Mm. Which
Quick
you're going
way
to be
to.
doing a lot of in 40 days. So you should join if
Yeah,
you're on this call and you're 16 to 25.
amazing.
We'll post once we
Send to
post
your
it. Yeah, we'll
siblings.
post more. Yes. Let me see if I can actually put it here right away.
Okay,
Let's grab this and the link. Yeah.
okay, amazing. I think it's such while you put the link on, I think it's a fantastic way to, wrap up this conversation because there is noise, there are distractions everywhere, but I think that once you sit with yourself, you know what you are not influenced by this is what is in vogue, this is what is in trend, this is what is nice, this is what is easy to do. Okay, yeah, so I've seen the link. Yeah, everybody, you can click it or go to Temi Dimple's bio to
Yeah. Yeah.
register.
It's right there on the top.
Yeah, 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 amazing. Are there any other things you want to say? You know, to
Oh, no, no, right now. I think the rest of it we'll talk about it in the 40 days. But yeah, so one of the things that also sat with me is that the lessons in your life, and I think DDK puts it succinctly in this way, are like curriculums that should not be hidden, but can make somebody else also do better. Like experience is a great teacher, and it doesn't have to be your experience. It doesn't have to be
yeah,
you. The experience is it. So if you can find
exactly.
a way if there's someone that's learned from it and can teach you, absolutely take it versus like having to now go through the same hurdle up and down. And so yeah, that's really, really another thing. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. We're going to be very honest about like life and all the different elements that it brings, the ups, the downs, and really a safe space to ask your burning questions. Because another thing with growing is like you're experiencing things, but you're unsure if other people experience, and maybe the way they come across is like they've never dealt with it. But hey,
Yeah,
they probably have, and we all have, and we evolve and we grow. When we know better, we do better, and we should not feel like we should never make mistakes as human beings. I think that's
yeah,
another thing. Just that constant, like I have to know. Sometimes you don't know, and if there's the opportunity to learn, please just take it. Take
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. It's it's true. It's an opportunity to like just have accountability
Yeah.
also and just have guidance. Sometimes our thoughts can be scattered around the place. So when you join this 40-day challenge, you're able to like just see things in perspective and also see that you're not alone. Many things that happen in life or makes us feel one kind of way, you just realize that you're not alone, really.
Any final words for us?
I think we're good. I think it's just I would like people to actually reflect and know what's in their core. What's the day? What are their heart cries? What do you dream of? What do you complain about?
Yeah.
What do you talk about? What bothers you? Like you need to know.
Yeah.
You need to know. And I also like feel like so when you know all these things, it's also easier to talk about yourself. So I think many times we can't sell ourselves. Again, I just had to branch to personal branding. You know, sometimes we can't sell ourselves well, um, because nobody knows you like you do, right? And if you do a poor job at that, everybody around you will do a poor job at that. So
Mm-hmm.
saying I'm not saying be perfect. I'm not saying be stuck in your ways. You can change. You change. You're a human being. But at least
Mm-hmm.
for the time you track yourself, you know. Yeah, those are my last words for tonight.
Thank you so much, Tenny. Thank you. I appreciate you. I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you for the nods.
Thank
Thank you for the
you.
push, for the DMs, the encouragement. Thank you for your support. And I was so glad to see you last year when I came. It was so beautiful to meet you in
Yeah,
person. After
yeah.
so long online. Yes, I honestly, and I thank God for what He's doing through you. And I'm genuinely inspired and I love you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for this huge opportunity. I mean, I love it. I love when people actually just want to take people to where they've been. So thank you for being selfless. It's been amazing doing this with you. You're easy to talk to. We have like, very similar and very grounded values that, speaks to each of our hearts. So it was a no-brainer for me to, want to do this live with you. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for your sisterhood, your thoughtfulness, and your words of encouragement, and just always being, happy for me. It's a very genuine. We must not take for granted that we see genuine people in this day and age where it's whoever gets me to the spotlight or whoever looks good on paper, that I will associate with. So I really appreciate you for being sincerely genuine, your heart without guile, and just your love for God and for people. I appreciate it, and I love you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, people, I hope
Yeah,
that you've enjoyed this. Let us know, share, the replay, and also please sign up for the 40 Days of Purpose. Follow Tenigma as well on her Instagram to listen to soul stirring worship. You guys, you don't even
yeah.
know what to, honestly, mind blowing stuff. I really enjoyed the unction recap that you did for us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, well, we'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. If it's night time,
Yeah.
have a good night rest. Evening, have a good evening. Thank you so much, Tenny. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Amen. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Nina, Son Mart, Prince Georgia. And I'm trying to see people that joined that I
Yeah.
can't see. I think thank you for staying to the end, and I hope that you learned something. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.